Universal Design for Learning, as presented by Margaret Neal. As you're watching this presentation, you're probably wondering, what is Universal Design for Learning? What does it mean? Where did it come from? And what does it have to do with me as a teacher? Well, allow me to tell you. Universal Design for Learning originated from the architectural concept of universal design. Universal design is the idea that buildings and structures should be accessible to people from the beginning, and that includes all people with disabilities or any other type of impairments. Architects found that renovation after the fact is unattractive, tedious, costly, and time-consuming. So they decided that it would be so much easier to create beautiful and functional designs when they thought universally from the beginning. Universal design, though specifically targeted for people with disabilities, is for everyone. For example, deaf people aren't the only ones who use closed captioning. We use it at the gym, in the stock room, when we're trying to be quiet, or just to get a better understanding. What does universal design do? In the words of Dr. David Rose, universal design recognizes the reality of diversity. Universal Design for Learning does the same thing in our classrooms. In the same way that universal design gives people access to structures, universal design for learning gives students access to instruction. Look at the learners here. They're from all different places, from different walks of life, from different cultural backgrounds, and they have different social and physical needs. But all of these students have one thing in common. They all need to learn. They all need to master whatever instructional standards are presented to them. Universal design for learning helps students to be able to achieve that, no matter what their background. Exactly what UDL does is prepare us for the reality of diversity in our classrooms. What does this diversity look like, you ask? Students may be diverse because of culture, ethnicity, linguistic group, academic ability, or physical impairment. What should we do as educators? Because we know that we will have a diverse group of learners in our classrooms, we should plan in such a way that gives instructional access to all of our students. How do we infuse UDL into our instruction? We do this by using scaffolding activities, by providing background knowledge, by using audio and visual supports, and by using digital aids. It's all inclusive. When we use UDL concepts in our instructional design, all our students are included and all are able to meet the learning goals of the lesson. The same way that universal design in architecture grants access to structures, universal design for learning grants access to instructional content. Both are necessary implementations and both add value and equity to our society. UDL and the brain. The brain activates 3 neural learning networks. These are the recognition network, strategic network, and the affective network. The recognition network is the what of learning. How do we gather facts? How do we categorize these facts? And how do we put into boxes what we see, hear, and read? The strategic network shows us how we plan and perform the tasks that we are going to do. And the affective network involves how learners get engaged and motivated and how they stay challenged. The 3 neural networks coincide directly to the 3 principles of UDL. The recognition network is supported by the representation principle, the strategic network is supported by the expression principle, and the affective network is supported by the engagement principle. Neurological research shows us that learners differ most in the affective network, where they are engaged. This means that we cannot engage all of the learners in our classrooms in the same way. Differentiated instruction through the use of UDL is important because it gives us the tools that we need to actively engage students across the spectrum, from those with autism to those with ADHD. Because of these differences, UDL suggests some areas of flexibilities for each neural network. In the recognition network, it is suggested that you use multiple means of presentation in order to convey a message to your student. This could be done through pictures, video, audio, and hands-on activities. The strategic network suggests that you give your students multiple ways to express themselves. This could be through differentiated mastery tasks or activities that activate the different intelligences. The affective network says that the teacher should try to engage students in different ways. You need to recognize the differences in your students and meet them where they are so that everyone becomes engaged in the content. It's all about the collaboration of the three networks. As educators, we must work together to activate all three neural networks through the use of UDL principles so that we can create meaningful instruction that all of our students can use. How can technology help UDL? The role of technology in UDL is a facilitative one. It allows the educator to facilitate several different strategies at once that they can use to scaffold, customize, and differentiate the instruction for all of their students in the class. Here are some ways that technology can help you as an educator in your classroom. You can use background knowledge videos, electronic flashcards to help with memory, audio libraries for students who have difficulty with reading, language translation for second language learner students, or online assessments with immediate feedback. I know that you're overwhelmed by all of these ideas and you're wondering, how can UDL principles work here at our school? Well, here are some suggestions. We are in the perfect position to employ UDL principles because we have technology through computers in all of our classrooms. All of our classrooms also are equipped with LCD projectors. All of our teachers have laptops provided by the school district. And we have already adopted Understanding by Design as a lesson planning format, which has scaffolding and reinforcement built into all of our daily lessons. We need to make sure that we embody UDL so that we can include all of our students. As you all know, our district is in an inclusive model and we are moving towards the least restrictive environment for all of our students. With that said, our school is almost 100% inclusion. We only have 4 students in our whole student body who are in self-contained classes. When we use the UDL strategies, we help to ensure that our inclusion students are going to be successful. Technology will be key in providing the accommodations and modifications that these students need that are prescribed in their IEPs. Along with special education students, we also have several students who are somewhere in the RTI pyramid. Technology infused with UDL practices can make these students get the turnaround that they need so that they can be successful and not make the move to special education, but go back to getting off of the RTI pyramid. My vision for the school is that we adopt a web-based lesson planning software such as Encore Systems, where all of us use the same UBD format and infuse these principles into our instruction. We should use our summer curriculum institutes to develop meaningful instruction materials that can be put onto our school server, and we should use this school server to have a repository of lessons designed to give access to all students in an engaging way. Our school website should not just be a place where students get information about where our school is, but it should be somewhere where they can go to gain instructional content from all of their teachers. We should also be using podcasts, webcasts, and Web 2.0 technology to provide extra access to our parents and our students. UDL is holistic. It supports cultural, ethnic, linguistics, and academic diversity. It engages students regardless of their background or ability level, and it provides learning opportunities for every single student in the class. I know you're asking, where do we start? This is so overwhelming. Change can be intimidating, but with UDL, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. The CAST website has some awesome resources that you can use as an educator. CAST is the Center for Applied Special Technology and is the home of research and UDL innovation. The first resource is the UDL Book Builder. This allows teachers, students, and parents to create electronic books. You can record audio and to read the text to the students, and you can also add illustrations. This book builder can be used as an instructional aid for you, the teacher, or it can be used for a mastery task for the students. The next resource is the UDL Strategy Tutor. This resource helps students to find websites, store notes, guides them with research, and stores their vocabulary and work log. And it helps you, the teacher, to set up lessons. You can browse lesson plans from other teachers, you can get help from CAST coaches on UDL strategies, and you can check your student work logs as they move along in their research. And the last tool is UDL Editions. This takes previously published work and presents it in a UDL-based format. Students can choose from the amount of scaffolding that they need while they go through the work. They can get minimal help, moderate help, or maximum help as they read the text. Titles such as Call of the Wild and Shakespearean sonnets are available. These are not the only UDL supports that are available. Please check out the CAST website because they have a host of other things that you can do. UDL is not an option for our students. For us to be able to serve them, it is a necessity. It is not a suggestion, it is a dire need. We know that we have a diverse group of kids from different backgrounds that come into our classroom. We need to serve them. The school's mission is to serve all of our learners, and we cannot do that unless we employ the objects of UDL. UDL will give us the path to success, not only to fulfill our mission, but to help our learners to be the best that they can be. Thanks so much for listening.